Hi boys and girls, welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at how to use partial products to multiply by two-digit numbers. But before we do that, I just wanted to take a quick second and review some things that we have kind of already done so far. So let's say we are going to multiply 13 times, let's do 34, okay? So one thing that we have looked at is we know that we can round and get an estimate. So when we round, what we're going to do is we're going to round each number to the nearest 10. So 13 rounded to the nearest 10 will be 10. And then 34 rounded to the nearest 10 would be 30. Now from here we know we can find our basic fact of 1 times 3 and then adding in the correct number of zeros. Because remember, this is the same as saying 1 10 times 3 tens. So that would come out to 3 hundreds. Okay, so it won't always ask you for an estimate, but just in case it does, here is that. Okay, now earlier this week we learned about using the area model, okay, and that's what these little squares over here are for, the little grids. So when we use the area model, we break apart each factor into tens and ones. So let's start with 13 right here. So we were going to break 13 apart. It would be 10 plus 3. Now we'll go right here. Let me see if I can spread it out some, make it easier to line up. There we go. That's close. And then going this way, we would have 30 plus 4. Uh-oh. Come on, Miss Barton. Get it together here. 30 plus 4. Okay, so I'm going to rotate it this way just so I can read it a little easier. All right, so now from here we know that we have to multiply to find our partial products, okay? So to find this first block right here, we're going to do 4, let me use my pen, 4 times 10, which we know is 40, okay? And then to find this block over here, we would do 4 times 3, which is 12, right? Then we would come down here to the bottom, and we would have 30 times 10, the basic fact here being 3 times 1, which, oh, let's do a different color. Let's do red. So 3 times 1 is 3, and again, we would add our 2 zeros. And then for our final box, we would do 30 times 3, which is going to be 90. Now, these 4 boxes are our partial products, so what we would do from there is we would add them together. So we have 300 plus 90 plus 40, plus 12. Okay. And then we can add them all together and we can find the product. So we have 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 2. 0 plus 9 is 9. I see 9 plus 1 makes 10. 10 plus 4 is 14. So I write my 4 and I'll have to regroup with my 1. And 1 plus 3 is 4. Okay, so 442 would make our final product. Okay, so I'm going to leave that right there because that's kind of what we've done so far with multiplying two-digit by two-digit numbers. We've looked at how to estimate a product and how to use the area model. Today we're going to be learning more, although these are partial products, we're going to be learning a different way to solve a multiplication problem using partial products. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to rewrite the problem. All right, so I'm going to say that we are going to do 34 times 13. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to change my colors around so it's a little bit easier to see, and I'm going to kind of just go through it step by step and show you how I get those numbers. So we're going to start in the ones column right here with the 3, and I'm going to say 3. I'm going to say 3 times 4, which is, because these are both in the ones place, so 3 times 4 is 12. All right, so far we're good. All right, now I'm going to change my color. Now I'm going to say 3 times this 3, but I know this is not in the ones place. This is actually the same as 3 tens, which is 30. So 3 times 30 is 90. I guess I should have matched these colors up with what I had over here. It's okay. All right, so now that means that I am done using this 3 right here. I can just kind of mark it out, right? And now we're going to go back and we're going to continue. So now I'm going to say, I'm going to start right here in the ones column. Now this is not, I'm sorry, in the tens column. This is not an actual 1. What is this? Right, it's a 10. It's 110. So we're going to say 10 times 4 because it's in the ones place, and we're going to get 40. Okay, and then our final step is going to be to use 10 times 30, which we know is 300. So again, to finish this entire problem, we would add together all of our partial products. And if you look, you see that all our partial products match up. I have 300, 300, 40, 40, 90, 90, 12, and 12. So we have the same partial products, right? So I know that my final product is going to be 442. Okay, so let's try another one. Let's look at 41 times 25. All right, so I'm not going to estimate for this one, and I'm actually going to wait and do the area model at the end because I want you guys to get some more experience with partial products this way. So let's try that. All right, so I'm going to say 41 times 25. All right, so I'm going to grab my little pen and draw. So we're multiplying. All right, so let's change the color. We're going to start here in the ones column, and I'm going to say 5 times 1, which is 5. All right. Now I'm going to do 5 in the ones column again times this 4, but this 4 is not a 4. What is it? That's right. It's 4 tens. All right. So 5 times 40. I know the basic fact is 5 times 4, which is 20. And then I have to add my 0. Okay. Now that lets me know I am finished with this 5 right here because I have multiplied this 5 by the ones and the tens. So now I'm going to move on to the next part. So I'm going to say this, I'm going to start here in the tens place now. This is not really a 2. What is it? It's a 20, right? It's 2 tens. So we're going to say 20 times 1 is 20. Okay. And then for our last one, we're going to say 20 times 40. All right. So 20 times 40 is going to, the basic fact is going to be 8. All right. And then we're going to add our 2 zeros. Now from here, these are partial products, so all we have to do is add them together. 5 plus all these zeros is still 5. Zeros and 2s, this is going to be 2. And then we have 2 plus 8, which is going to bring us to 10, which is going to be 1,025. Okay? Now, let's say you get halfway through this and you're totally lost. You're like, what am I going to do now? I need to kind of check my work.
I just wanted to make a last.
All right, so if we want to just double check our work, we can come over here to the area model because that is something that we're already familiar with, right? So we can break apart 41 is going to be 40 plus 1, and we'll just spread it out so it's a little bit easier to see. And then we'll do 25, so that's going to be 20 plus 5. And I'll turn it just so we can line it up better. All right. Okay. So now I'm going to go through and I am going, oh, that's not what I wanted. Crazies. All right, so let's go ahead and start solving this using the area model. All right. So I'm going to go to the draw box, and we know we're going to start right here in this top left corner. So that's going to be 5 times 40. I know the basic fact for that is 5 times 4, which is 20. And then I need to add in my 0. So look, I can already see there's one of my matching partial products. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the next box. So I have 5 times 1, which is 5. Good. Here we're going to do 20 times 40, which we are going to do our basic fact, which is 2 times 4. We'll get 8, and then we'll add in our zeros. And then finally we will do 20 times 1, which is 20. So either way we do it, we still get the same partial products. We add them together just the same, and our final product ends up being 1,025. Okay, so what I want you guys to do now is I would like for you to pause your video here and get out your big math book and turn to page 151. I want you to work with the people at your table group, and I would like for you to complete numbers 5 through 12 as a table group. I'll also add this into Schoology so you can see what you're expected to do, and then you will have an independent work assignment. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment and let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help. I'll see you guys soon.